I noticed there was a period in my life where I was popping antacids. It was almost like clockwork. I would, take an antacid after dinner, before bed, because I'd get that back up in my throat, TMI, but it it's sort of like, another part that I reflect on that's similar is when I'd get headaches, and I'd have to take an aspirin, and before long it kind of it suppressed the symptoms, but it didn't go away. And I look back now, I'm thinking, wow, I normalized that. I thought it was kind of normal, and really, no one thought it was not normal. Like, oh, he's popping a Tums. We kind of look at that, heartburn and turkey dinner, or fast food, or whatever you have, or spicy Mexican food. That's a big one. It's spicy, so that's why I'm, got the reflux. So if this is you, or someone that is kind of in the same mindset as I used to be, then stay tuned. This one's for you. So a lot of people can relate to this. You got this pesky symptom, this inconvenience, whether it's achy body, arthritis, discomfort, like I mentioned, antacids, ibuprofen for headaches. And so we use over-the-counter solutions to those problems. And those symptoms, though, we don't really think about them too much. We just accept them as the world we live in, our environment. We say it's okay, and so does everyone else. They don't think too much of it, unless you're carrying a bottle of pink stuff around with you wherever you go. Then they might question you. But so this is where now, and I did that in my reflection, like I mentioned. And now when I see someone popping in an acid, I don't knee-jerk get, oh my God, I get curious. I want to know more. So here's what I've learned. Your body is smart. It's so smart. But our brains and our lifestyle get in the way and try to change the way our body should behave. And that's just not the case. We assume that our body is dysfunctional and broken, instead of really being curious about saying, well, maybe my body knows more than I do, or more than my brain or my lifestyle is led to believe. A lot of what we put our bodies through is through stress. And a lot of that we have to keep up with nowadays, whether you have children, grandchildren, you're young and trying to make a career for yourself, or old like me and just trying to live a productive life. Usually people will say, oh, I produce too much stomach acid, or not enough, or, and that's, why I get the reflux. Or maybe it's digestion. I don't digest the food properly. And so these are our idea, or our approach to trying to come up with an answer for why we have reflux. Now, this is a good instinct to think, be curious, but don't be curious. This is just the answers, right? Be curious and ask yourself those questions, not making statements. So you're on the right track if you're coming up with the reasons why, but how do you know you have low acid? How do you know you have high acid? You don't. You don't. Those are statements that you're making based on the result, right? Based on the reflux, it's probably related, but you don't know for sure your particular case. Now, again, I'm using general terms here. You might know because you've gone and had tests done and all that. I'm talking to the people that default to these kind of reasoning. And with that said, then, if you say, oh, I'm producing too much acid, or because I can't digest my food, most of us, generally speaking, will reach for the shelf, right? They'll reach for something to suppress that pesky behavior or uncomfortableness. And instead of what we should be doing is changing one little variable, one little thing to see if it moves the needle in the right direction. By doing something, by eating earlier, by cutting out a certain ingredient, by propping our neck up. We look at ways, instead of reaching for the shelf, little ways to improve or to isolate where the problem could be. And I can speak from experience that by me suppressing and normalizing things, it came back to bite me. I'm not going to sit here and diagnose people, and I'm speaking mostly from my personal experience and also trying to pay it forward to people to be more curious. I mean, there's people that have IBS, there's people that have weak stomach lining. There are specific things that can be done to combat those. And what we're talking about is really reaching for the shelf to suppress and what the underlying root cause could be, or not being curious enough about doing that and normalizing things. As you see, there's a bit of a trend here. So for me, personally, by cutting back on processed foods, the sugars, by having more movement in my day. So for me, the needle moved for me where I noticed a difference that at first I wasn't reaching for the shelf and popping a pill or drinking the pink stuff as often. So these are things that to be conscious of and look for the signs that is it getting better. And nutrition is a big part of it. And if it moves the needle, then you're doing the right thing. I started getting less bloating and less heartburn, and my mood also, indirectly. So by fixing or trying to get curious and fix one thing, I was noticing other positive changes that I didn't even know existed, or I wasn't even paying attention to. So these are things you eat. I think the other thing I reflect on is the timing of when you eat or how often you eat is just as important. That's another lever you can try to reduce or remove the reflux, issues. So if you don't want to change anything in your current lifestyle, it could be great whole foods, it could be totally fast foods, or it's somewhere in between. If you feel you're doing the best you can given the diet and the nutrition you're eating, then the other is when you eat and how often you eat. Those are the other two levers that you can try. For me, I try to get in the habit of stopping to eat earlier, so that I have not only like the evening and all through the night without processing food. That does it for me. And that's a consistent window that I can provide to my body to digest the food that it has and run off to other parts of my body and overall just resting your body. And the ripple effect of doing that is quite amazing. And those of you that do finish your last meal earlier in the day, you could probably attest to this, that it's you wake up more rested, more energy, and feeling light. And it might not happen after a couple days, but you give it a couple weeks, and you'll see it. Just like anything, don't go for perfection. Go for consistency, right? Go for consistency. Even if you start off with 1 or 2 days a week, having stopping at lunch or for your last meal, or 2 or 3 or 4 o'clock, stop for that's your last meal. Just like anything. Let me know what you think. If you've done this, leave a comment so that I know that there's someone else out there that is seeing the benefits of this. From my experience and the people around me that I know, it's a sure win. Hopefully I've been able to connect with some of you that are going through this issue or know someone that has reflux and or other things where they're reaching for the shelf. Are you reaching for the shelf and normalizing the symptoms, which you need to do, right? I mean, everyone has to push through the days, but being a little bit more curious about things and looking at different ways that you can test different ways in isolation to see if it moves the needle for you. That's the best way of you getting more in sync and connected with what your body's trying to tell you. Hopefully I've been about it. You can also pop over to lifeledgerx.io. That's my website that I have a lot of free resources, free tools. Check it out. Let me know what you think. And if there's any way I can help you work through any specific problems yourself, I've got some openings for consultation. And if that works out and we click, there's mentorship that we can work on further. But that's all the information's on lifeledgerx.io. So check it out. Thanks for sticking around. See you next time.